What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. And today we have a 4-4-2 back to basics formation for you guys. These are some of the best blues that I have in my squad at this point in time. Patry is such a good card as well. Gone back to Alonso, Saka, doing the Watkins upgrade as well. So to name a few. But anyway, this is what I'm running at the minute. It's not necessarily the best possible meta players, but it's the players that I prefer to use at this point in time, and it works for me. So yeah, we've kind of gone back to basics with this 4-4-2 purely because things are a bit up in the air at the minute. The servers are rubbish, the gameplay's a bit crap, etc, etc. So yeah, doing a complete reset on the formations and stuff. So this is what I found at this point in time that works, and it's balance 40, 67 balance, direct passing 55, 7, 1 and 1. It sounds crazy to go back to a 4-4-2, but 4-4-2 is meta, has always been meta, has always been one of the go-to formations in FC24 and across the whole FIFA series. It is such a good formation. I did one on the 4-4-2 a little while ago, and I stand by that formation. So whether you want to use the 4-4-2-2 or the standard 4-4-2, it's very similar. However, you have two DMs rather than having, say, an attacking CM. I prefer an attacking CM in this instance, and this is how I've set it up. So we are currently moving through Rivals Elite. It's crazy. The gameplay is shocking at the minute, but this formation seems to make a slight, and I emphasize the word slight, difference in terms of those extra goals. So yeah, watch the gameplay, guys. Please do. You don't forget to watch the gameplay that I include, because obviously it shows you how to use this, and I have not a secret, but I have kind of an in-game tactic I use, which I will show you in-game. So you need to watch the gameplay so you can see when I switch that thing on, and that makes a massive difference, especially with the switching at the minute. The switching is broken, so what I mean by the switching is broken, I mean when you switch the ball from left to right, right to left, for example, but you're switching it using L1 and triangle, so the through ball button, the AI can't pick it up. So the AI can't pick up the runs, and before you know it, you're left. Their left back or right back is so far out of position, you're in on goal nearly every time that works. So yeah, definitely watch the gameplay. Hit that like button if you like what you see. Subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate a subscription, guys. We're so close to 1,000. And yeah, no more talking. Let's jump into the gameplay. So I'll show you what I was talking about. Bottom left of your screen, you can see we switch it to hug sideline. I think it's called, yeah, hug sideline. As you can see, we switched it green. It's hug sideline, and that is what we do during the start of every game. You can see from here, there's not much to say about the 4-4-2 because everybody knows how the 4-4-2 works, regardless of how, whether you have it on comeback or defence or get forward, whatever. Everybody knows how this formation works, so I can't really tell you. But what I can show you is that switch right there. So I'll bring it back. The switch L1 and triangle. That's the switch. The through ball, and again, nearly 9 times out of 10, this happens. You get the goal from that switch. Now, I don't want to be the one to say it's broken, it's glitched, it's bugged, whatever. But there's something about the L1 and triangle that when you incorporate it with like hug sideline or wide players, so whether you use a 4-3-3 and you have got a left wing and a right wing, for example, it's crazy. It works nearly every time. You can see we start this game 1-0 down. The guy is very, very attacking, which makes it a little bit more interesting, if you like, on how this 4-4-2 works. So again, you're going to see, we get the equalizer. You're going to see here, we get a free kick out to the defender, L1, triangle, boom, forward. And again, doesn't matter how close the wing backs are. Again, here, doesn't matter how close that wing back is, I'm winning that ball 9 times out of 10. There's nothing their defence can do about it. And again, it results in getting a goal. Now, I've used this a lot. You're going to see a lot of this gameplay. You're going to see a lot of these clips of where I'm switching the ball left to right, right to left, and it works. So as long as it's working, I'm going to keep using it, and I'm going to tell you guys to do exactly the same. And then here, this is a perfect counter opportunity. You're a 2v2 essentially. I'm waiting for the runners because we are quite deep. Luckily enough, we get the runner from the cam, and it's a goal. And again, another perfect example of this switch. So yeah, we win the ball back. Here, yeah, we win the ball back. We switch out to the right side, and then we switch from the right to the left. You can see the sheer amount of space that is there. It's crazy. You know, again, we wait for a runner. Nice little 1-2 on the edge of the box, and a goal. This is the theme of this 4-4-2, and it's also the theme of having that hug sideline. Now, a lot of people have asked me previously, why didn't you use hug sideline? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Well, that's because in one of the patches, I forget which patch it was in, but they kind of nerfed the wing play a little bit in the respect of they wanted you to play more in the middle. So they wanted more of the intricate passing, the tiki-taka football. They wanted it more in the middle of the pitch. And it's only the last patch or so that the wing play has been there, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, it doesn't matter if you set your width, your chance creation width to 100, or whether you change it to 0. It didn't really matter. You'd always find the players would be very narrow on the pitch. They'd all be, you know, bunched together no matter what you asked them to do. And even if you did use hug sideline, it went ridiculous. It went the opposite way. But this time round, I think with this latest patch, it's kind of rectified the hug sideline play, so you can use it a lot more now. Now, I'm going to implement this in probably a few more different formations and stuff like that, because it is working so well at the minute. I mean, I've had some toxic messages over it, like I'm spamming the cross and things, but be honest, guy, how many times do you actually cross the ball in the box and get ahead to it? It's not often. It's not often. Unless we're doing specific challenges, that doesn't really happen. So it's nice now to have that crossing option. You know, you can spread the play like you could in real life. In real life football, you can spread the play. And these balls now are working so much better. And yeah, it's so much more enjoyable to use formations like the 4-4-2 compared to, you know, using those narrow formations that EA wanted you to use. You don't have to use those narrow formations anymore, and that's the good thing about this. So yeah, I highly recommend switching. If you're using a 4-3-3, for example, yes, use hug sideline, but you need to remember that your three-man midfield is going to struggle a little bit because they're going to be so spread out. Whereas this kind of the 4-4-2, for example, the two CMs are very close together regardless of whether you have hug sideline. Hug sideline really only affects the left back, right back, left mid, right mid. Doesn't really affect those in the middle. However, it does affect them if you're using the more 4-3-3s, for example. So just bear that in mind. And again, I've said it before, this does work for old gen as well. So you can set this up exactly the way you see it for your old gen, and you'll get the same results. It is so good. It is so much fun. And yeah, I'm really enjoying using the 4-4-2 again. I've always been a fan of the 4-4-2. It's always been a nice formation to use. So, you know, and you can see here that you pull your players out of position, and then we've got the runner. Get a bit of luck here with the pass. He fails with his offside trap, and we get a nice little tap in. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that gameplay. Let's jump straight into the instructions. So I hope you saw what I meant with the switching, and I've probably emphasised the switching quite a lot in terms of pausing it and showing you guys what I mean and how OP that is at the minute. So yeah, so the left back and right back stay back mixed attack. Again, I've said this hundreds of times before. You can change it in game if you need to. So we might as well have it on stay back as default. The left mid and right mid come back on defence, balance width, get in behind, get in the box for crosses. The more attacking CM cover centre, the more defensive CM stay back, get in the box and cover centre. Obviously the RM, same as the LM, come back on defence, balance, get in behind, get in the box crosses. Now the two strikers are both getting behind, that is it. Now, naturally, their work rates will pull them back if they've got the work rates high and high, for example, which, you know, these two are pretty good at defensive. So you will find these two closer to the CMs, which is fine by me, especially when you're defending and you can hit that counter attack. And again, if you've watched the gameplay, you'll see the little thing that I do with the LM and RM to make a massive difference to that switch. So if you haven't watched the gameplay, I'm not going to repeat it here. If you haven't watched the gameplay, go back and watch the gameplay and see what I change. And then you will understand the LM and RM and how the left back to right back, you know, how it all switches and stuff. So bear that in mind. This is a complete reset, starting from the beginning. And this is what I found to be working at this point in time on both consoles, both generation of consoles. So exactly the same setup on both consoles. You don't need to change anything on old gen. you just keep it as it is on as you see in front of you, and then go from there, guys. So yeah, hit that like button if you like what you see, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next week, everybody take care and look after themselves.